Hello friends, and welcome to Nemesis Lockdown. This is another digital port for a board game. This one is a very new board game that I have not personally played, though I have played and I do own Nemesis. And I've had a lot of fun with Nemesis. I did see that there was a crowdfunding campaign for Lockdown on Awaken Realms' own GameFound, which is like a Kickstarter but for board games. And this is being published by them themselves, Awaken Realms. Awaken Realms makes beautiful, beautiful board games. Their art department is on fire. They are amazing. And the still images of this game have only proven that their art department continues to produce amazing work. So what I'm going to be doing here is I've played this game a few times, trying to understand some of the mechanics and some of the tactics, though I'm pretty bad at this game, I do have to say. But before we jump into the game, I do want to say that Awaken Realms did reach out to me to play this game before the early access release, so this is still very much in the works, and what you see here might change in early access and might change after the full release. So, without further ado, let's jump into a game. I'll be playing solo and almost certainly going to be losing. I have not beaten this game yet, but I can't say that I've beaten Nemesis solo either. Many times at least. I think I've won once by playing a couple characters at the same time. Now I would like to see that here in this digital game. I'd love to see a hot seat kind of mode where one player or one person can play multiple players at the same time, or maybe two people in the same house could be playing hot seat mode. So here are our objectives. We'll get to choose one of these once an alien spawns onto the board, and then we get to choose between two characters. This time for me, Xenobiologist and Janitor. I've not seen the Xenobiologist before, so let's check that one out. And once again, that art. Their art department, amazing. Amazing work. Here we are in the repository. Let's pull the map up so we can get a good understanding of where that is. This is in the, well, I'll probably say northern part, but it's more like on the upper level, if I'm understanding this correctly. There are staircases on either side, and I believe we descend from here to this level, section 2, and then again descend into section 3. I'm not sure if we descend both times, or maybe we descend here and then ascend in this southern part of the map, but regardless, they're basically different levels. Whereas Nemesis, the original Nemesis, was on the Nemesis spaceship. This is now on Mars, I believe, and this is kind of a home base of people surviving, trying to survive, but we'll definitely see some more trying than actual surviving. And the basic game flow is that each player will perform 2 actions, or up to 2 actions. You can perform 1 action and then pass, but then you're done for the rest of the round. There are 15 rounds until the game is over, and if the game ends and you are not in a safe place, then you did not survive. So we want to get the objective and then also survive. and surviving is the hard part. This is typically the easy part, when compared to surviving anyway. Unconventional medicine, get the intruder's carcass. Right. That's one of our options here, is to get the carcass. So that means we have to take one down first. And the other one is Alien Compendium, discover all intruder weaknesses. No way. No way. In this case, this is probably a task that we could do if this was more than one player. So that's kind of why I'm thinking, you know, if there was a hot seat situation or mode, then I would definitely play a hot seat game. But as is, there's no way I'm going to discover all intruder weaknesses. Now, maybe there is, but me, no. So we want to probably get the intruder's carcass, which is also needed for discovering the intruder weaknesses. Now we can move around the room here. This doesn't really do anything except for look cool. Holding tab shows the options of what we can do in the room. We can craft. We can go down these unknown rooms, these corridors here, or the staircase goes this way. Again, if we pull up that map, here's the staircase. This goes to the rover, but there's something else in this room, and then there's another unknown room here. There's also an elevator. If we were to, I believe it'd probably just be easier getting between these and faster to get to from level 1 to 3 without having to make noise rolls running through these staircases. But I've never even been on it. I've never even called it, because every time the power goes out, and I'm just one person, so I kind of just disregard the lights and spend all of my time in the darkness. I don't know if that's a good thing. I assume it's a very bad thing, but I'm only one person. Now, to perform actions, we have these cards. This one is pheromones, so we can perform these kinds of actions if these requirements are met. An interruption is more for multiplayer. So in solo mode, I'm just using this, or I guess in co-op mode, if you were going to do that. This is just a card that we can toss away if we need to pay for the action cost. So to repair a room, we have to pay one more card, whereas this card is free. We get to play this for free. So we play this card. We would just play this card. In order to repair, we would have to play this card and discard another card. So this is interruption is a really good one to just discard for paying a cost. This also means we can only use this in combat, whereas this means we cannot use that in combat. So, in order to find an intruder, we probably need a weapon first. Let's check our backpack here. We have a probe arm. Okay. Get a sample. The intruder carcass will be placed in the probe arm. And our quest, each class or player, this one being the xenobiologist, we have this quest Overmind. Get item Overmind. Control 1 intruder on map per round if you have 8 knowledge. Yeah, that's another thing that I'm kind of iffy on, is knowledge. There's these ways of gaining knowledge that I don't totally understand. So again, I'm not good at this game. I just want to show off the game because I think it's going to be a great addition to digital board games. First, let's move up this way. We do need to use our search. We need to find a weapon of some kind. Some of the classes start with weapons, and apparently this one does not. So let's use interruption, and I'll use repairs. I guess I'll use pheromones. Yeah, let's use pheromones. So this is quiet.
Damn.
Which means, or a like a quiet move here. That means we get to choose which way we put the noise marker. So if, let's say, I'm not going this way, or I just came from that way, then I probably want to put the noise marker there. If this says 2, so if we roll a 2 for a noise check, then a noise marker would be placed there. If there's already a noise marker, then an alien typically spawns, and then we get an attack from them. This is 1, and then this is 3 and 4. So there are higher chances of rolling for a 3 or a 4 to put it in the air duct, which is even worse because these are connected to a few other rooms. So if 1 goes in there, then it's also in all of these other rooms. Let's see, we do have an item here. It's not necessarily an item that I'd like to take, though. This one is like a health item. This room is malfunctioning. So each room that is explored for the first time has another token in the board game, that is, has another event that is played and then tells you how many items are located in there. This time there's 1 and it's malfunctioned. So we could fix the room because down here when we click on the map, if we find out that the entire base is destroyed, or basically when malfunction reaches 100%, so that would be 10 malfunctioning tokens, then the base is basically destroyed and the game is over. The same thing, but 12 fire tokens. So, what would we want to do in the testing lab? In the testing lab, we can make a neutralizer. What does that mean? To remove larva or contamination cards. Well, none of that's really important to us yet, so let's just move on. But I think while we're here, let's try and get an item. Since we're here. Reagent is, well, you have to have knowledge 5 at least to be able to play it. And caffeine pills just allows us to draw extra cards. So let's take the caffeine pills. That sounds fun. And then we'll move on. And in this time, I think I'm just going to... I don't know if this would be a waste of time, repairing the room. I'd have to discard this on top of it. Let's just move on. And I'm going to use repairs for that. Here's the roll. So that goes right here. If it was an X, then there are no, there's no noise markers played. And if it is the 3 scratches, I forget the name of it, then you'd have to put a noise marker in every corridor. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Let's use this workspace plan because I want to see what this room is. If it's not important, then we'll just move on. And if it is important, then we'll kind of have an idea of what it is. And then in this case, I'll go way over here because I don't know if this room will be able to go into.
Intruder movement detected.
Vent control room, definitely not something
Power failure.
I'm too excited about. All right, so that's the end of the phase
Creeper
here.
evolved into
Then we
Predator.
go through all of these phases. End of transmission. I do wish that would stay around a little bit longer, and I also wish there was a way to find that, because I don't know. Close. I don't know where I can find that. The map doesn't show it. Yeah. So it would be nice to be able to see the event phase, so you know when things are coming, just to be able to see it. That's all. It does kind of go through. There's no way of clicking to stop it that I see at the moment. But all right, this is the vent control room. So what we can do, go to the map real quick, go to the vent control room, airlock procedure. Let's see what that does. Choose a room with vents. Any fires in the selected room will be extinguished. Okay. All doors in the corridors connected to that room will be locked. If the doors remain locked until the event phase, all life forms in that room will die. Ooh. If any of the doors are opened or destroyed, the procedure is aborted. Right, okay. Okay. That's good to know. Probably not something I need at the moment. There's no fires, there's no life forms, so we'll just continue on past that. What was the other one? Cave entrance? Move through vents, right. So this is just a way for us to move through the vents, but if we do, adult intruder will surprise attack you. There's a chance that they can deal some damage, so it's a good way of getting through the map quickly, though. Well, let's go down the stairs, and then we'll check out section 2. Rushed analysis. Analyze contamination cards. We don't have any of those, so we could just move on with that. Deal 1 injury. Interesting. Okay. Selected intruder will suffer 1+1 for each 2 knowledge you have. Ooh, so we want to get some knowledge, don't we? Let's get rid of demolition. I don't think I'm going to need that. Then field experience is gain 1 knowledge. Item counter will be reduced by 1. Okay. Draw 2 random events. Put 1 on top, 1 on the bottom. Choose next attack card, but these ones we need higher level of knowledge. Okay. Well, I would like to do this, but we need to have a room that have items in it. So demolition, rushed analysis. Let's not use demolition. Let's just go. We'll make the roll, and then we'll have a better idea of what to do next. 3, so that's behind us. Perfectly fine with me. Let's move on. This time we'll use demolition. Yeah, so this one is the worst one. That now puts them in every doorway for, every corridor, including air vents, if there are air vents. Unknown room. Let's go ahead and sneak on in here. We'll use search and vivisection to carefully move into the room. And the room is malfunctioning. And I'll probably, let's take a look at the map real quick. We can either go down this to this room or down that corridor to this room, in which case we're still going to get to the alert room. But I think it's going to be better if we go this way. So I'm going to place the token on the southern door there. So north, this is the south. We'll put it right there. And I think we want to get out of here. Ooh, field experience, right. There's 2 items here. Good. So let's do that.
Attention. Intruder movement detected. Power failure in section 3.
Alright. We got lucky there. Because if in the intruder bag segment or whatever it's called, if we pull an adult, then we have to make a noise roll. Is it the adult or the breeders or both? I can't remember. And if that's the case, we'd have to roll a 4. or an X, or the three scratches. I forget what that's called. But basically we wouldn't have good chances of not having an enemy spawn here, so. Search. We will search. Hopefully we find some item that we can use. No, we were not finding it. So, open main gate. Main gate has to be open for anyone to go to the bunker. Ooh. Well, okay. This would be a good way for us to get out of the... I've never seen this before, so I'm really excited to see it. We have to be in an undamaged room with a computer and in a section with power on. Okay. Power, in this case, is very important. We can use the glow stick in an attack, which is pretty funny. And ignore darkness. Let's get the main gate key. I think that's more helpful here. And then we'll move on. I want to keep that. This one looks like a good one. We'll get rid of that. And this room is on fire. Great. Great. So we take a light wound for that. We can take a look here. Here's our light wound. If we have a couple light wounds and then no wound, okay. And then there's also severe wounds, which hinder how we get things done, our actions and things like that. So we don't really want to stay in here, do we? I would like to use this, but I think because this is our first of our 2 actions we can perform, then we can do one while we're here and then get out afterwards. So let's do that. Again, we'll use this field experience. And now we can leave. This would also be a nice thing to know, like, is this the first or second action of my turn? The alert room, let's head to the alert room. We'll use repairs. We rolled a 2, that's just right where we came from, perfect. So in this case, it's only dark. We do have the contingency plans here, but that doesn't mean anything this time. Sometimes you have to understand what the contingencies are, and that's something that I need to learn more about to try and understand what those mean. But I think this is a good place for us to rest. So we'll use this last one to check a couple more rooms. Let's check the one we just left behind. And maybe this one? Because if it's not important, then there's no reason for me to go this way.
Attention. Intruder movement
CSS
detected.
control room and power generator.
Event codename Egg Protection.
Oh great, we're now contaminated.
New life form detected. Location.
And we
cave
drew a
system.
blank in the nest development. That's what this is. Nest development drew a blank, so that adds another adult token to the nest development bag. Okay. So, well, we could damage the room, which is obviously not something I'm too excited about. Vivisection, deal 2 injuries. So it looks like we really want to keep increasing our knowledge with this one, the xenobiologist, for sure. Our knowledge at the moment is 3. And the probe arm has 3 uses on it. And in this case, repair probe arm. Oh, to regain the use. So this reloads it. Okay. And get a sample. The intruder's carcass will be placed in the probe arm. Oh, is this thing... Where are we here? Is there like a visual aid for this? No, okay. I was wondering if it was some like thing following us, but I don't see it anymore. So no reason to go here, right? CSS control room. We can schedule this. CSS is cargo sending system. We need to find one of these places, or we can find one of these places to try to get out of here. I do have a gate key for this main gate now, so we could use the rover to get out of here, which would be one of the ways of surviving. The rover, the isolation room, which I don't know how good this is for surviving. I've only died going in there, so I think your chances of survival in the isolation is pretty slim. Or we can schedule this cargo sending system flight, either in A, B, or C. Okay, so B and C are probably in those two hexes, or those two rooms right there. But we need to find an enemy first, get the carcass, and then get out of here. That's basically my goal here. Well, let's not schedule a flight yet. Let's try and find an enemy. And maybe what we want to do is find a room with some stuff in it, and then keep using that card to gain more knowledge so that we can just, when we find it, we can deal a bunch of damage, and then that'll be it. Kill it, grab it, get out of here. Power generator. Is it the laboratory? Yeah, the laboratory would be good. But we would need a carcass, an egg, or a corpse. Okay. So if we can find the nest, we can grab an egg. Let's head down here. We'll use demolition to move.
No worries.
There it is again. So it goes into all of the corridors that don't already have one. You probably saw that there was one over here, but because there's already a noise token there, then another one doesn't go there. We have a computer, but we don't have power. We can still use the computer though, I think.
On the contrary.
No, we need power on. What's this computer card? So if we turn on, then we can use this. Computer action B. Okay. We can turn the power on. How do you turn the power on? That's another thing I'd like to learn. Search. Let's search since we've got some stuff here. Repair the room, put out a fire, or remove slime. Toggle a door and repair room. This one looks very useful, but this one does too. Do we have... I think I'll take this. Am I slimed? I don't think I am. No, I'm not slimed. Okay. Well, let's keep moving to this corridor right behind us. We'll use interruption and search to move carefully. That way I can... Yeah, that was not supposed to roll, from my understanding. Alright, well, we will hang out here. I'm going to keep Vivisection to deal injuries if needed.
Attention. Intruder movement detected. Event codename. Noise in corridors.
Oh, great. Okay. So get an intruder's carcass. That's the one we want to go for.
Intruder's activity.
Here spawns a breeder. A breeder? No, an adult. And we now have our eyes messed up. A serious wound to our eyes. Yeah, so this is an adult here. Pretty scary looking, right? So now there's a bunch of things that we cannot do. Well, we can use this, but we can't use repairs. Anything that has an X over the gun up there, we're not able to use. Here's our contamination card. And we can't use this for anything. We can't discard it in order to use, let's say, this as an action cost. But there's a chance that it says infected, which is a bad thing. And if it doesn't say infected, then we can find a way to discard it. I believe there's still ways, but it's harder to discard infected cards. But if we do things and we pull this, sometimes we will gain a larva card, which is a larva on our body, which is even worse. There are events that just straight up kill people that have larvae in them. Here's our heavy wound, eyes, always counted as being in the dark. Great. So I think we want to do this, right? But that's just going to be 2 injuries. I'd really like to be hitting it for harder than that. I feel like our best bet is to get out of here. But maybe we want to do this just in case. I've killed them before with just 2. Yeah, there it is. Oh, that's great. So you basically pull a card in the game, in the board game that is. You pull a card, and if the number of injuries it has is equal to or greater than the number on that card, then it dies. There is the carcass. Let's go pick that thing up. So we have to pay a card in order to pick it up. I say we... Oh, here we go. We get to analyze the contamination card. So any contamination cards in your hand will be scanned. All uninfected cards will be removed. If at least one card were removed this way, you will gain 1 knowledge. If any of the cards were infected, the infection procedure will be performed. Yeah, so I'd rather not that. But maybe, yeah, it's rushed analysis. Maybe we don't want to do that. Let's burn pheromones, because this is something I'm not interested in doing. Object completed. So now we have to survive. Oh boy. Well, we are really close. Oh, and we're in the emergency room. How perfect. Dress all heavy wounds. Heal a dressed wound. Let's do this. So we have to pay 2 cards. Let's pay both of those.
All heavy wounds.
Now our eyes are not as wounded. And we have to pass now. Because we have a card in our hand, other people would see that we have a card in our hand. They don't know that it's our contamination card. So we'll pass. And we can discard, I think?
Attention.
We'll try that.
Intruder movement detected. Event codename, coolant leak.
Oh, great. Those are always good,
Increased
right?
intruders activity.
So we have to perform a noise roll because we pulled an adult token. There's our noise roll there. And we can heal a dressed wound. I might do that. Let's take a look at the map real quick, because what we need to do is get over to here, schedule one, and then get to a room that has one. But I don't know if that's just scheduling or if it's just... Because if we click on it, it says you can speed up or delay the launch of a selected CSS by 1 round unless another CSS is scheduled to start at the same time, at that time. I don't know if this is just to schedule one or to speed it up or delay it. So I'm going to learn here. We have to go back through the cooling system. Or I don't know if we went through here. And then we have to go to the CSS control room. Okay. We probably want to do this quietly so we can just place the noise token here. Get to here, and we're kind of screwed because there's a lot of noise tokens over there too. Okay. Let's take a look. Field experience. This will give us more knowledge, which is a good thing. Oh, this would have been... We could use the thing for free. Maybe that's a good thing. Let's use this to gain knowledge. Let's do that. So our knowledge is now 4. Great. So I think that means we'll be able to hit for harder. Workspace plan. Search. Interruption. Let's move on. Cooling system. We're going to move carefully.
Only the patient man will pass.
We want to put it right there. And the alert room has 1, 2, so it's kind of a 50-50 here. Do we attempt it, or do we just stay here and hope we don't pull anything too bad? Let's stay here. Let's keep the 2 cards, because I think this is a way of mitigating incoming damage.
Attention. Intruder movement detected.
If they perform an attack and you have
Queen
a certain number
activity
of cards.
detected.
Ooh. So another egg. That's good though, because we didn't have to roll for noise. That's good. So let's move on now. The alert room. Let's move carefully again. Get rid of... maybe we need that. I don't remember. Analyze contamination cards. Deal 3 injuries. That's good. Let's get rid of this and... and this.
Be careful.
And we'll put it right there. And then we need to get to this room, and there's only one that doesn't have it. 1 noise token. So I think we want to do this again. Yeah, I'd really like to do that. And slime. Great. So we'll put it right there. And then we have to wait here. But schedule a CSS. Let's pass. I do want to try to get rid of that.
Attention. Intruder movement detected.
So we'll get more cards that are useful in the next.
Event codename. That's hot.
Okay.
Larva evolved into adult.
Okay. Scary. But we're okay for now. Isolation is open. We can now go to the isolation room. That's not something I'm too interested in, though. Schedule CSS. We have 2 contamination cards. This one and demolition. So I don't know if I actually discarded one or not, but... Peek at the CSS token from the timeline. Oh, okay. I've never done this before, so... Where are we right now? I would say we're probably here, so let's take a look at this one. Or maybe this one. Because we have to get to a specific... That one was B. Let's look at this one. I don't know if I have enough time to get there. Move, make a decision. Move. Do you want to move it? No. It just says no launch. Does that mean I guess I'd probably have to stick around here, don't I? Two of the same cards, okay. So we'll just take that. Add. We'll pass. I'm going to draw both of these cards. I don't know if I can or not.
Intruder movement
We'll
detected.
see. My understanding was we're not able to do that.
Intruders activity.
Ah, there it is. It's a larva. That's not too bad. It performs an attack and now we're... Yeah. We have a larva and another contamination. We're slimed. There's a larva inside of me. I have my eyes are dressed up. But that's not her. Okay. Okay, so I did discard. That's good. So cancel. That says failure. I won't be able to get to that one, so I want to look at this one then? I think so. Workspace plan, repairs. I need that one. This one would be good. We'll get rid of this one and this one. Make a decision. Launch all. Move a decision. Yes. Only by 1 round. We're going to put it up to 3. Ooh. So now we just have to find one. Where is one? We haven't seen any of them yet. And they're all down there. Okay. Okay. If I can go this way, then these... I mean, there's 100% chance it's one of this room or this room, right? If I go this way, I have an air duct here, but this room I would be, if I move slowly. Okay, this is going to be just a mad dash now. But I think it's best that we go this way. Let's move this way. I'll probably end there, and then I'll start running. Adult is not interested in fighting me. Okay. Well, I don't want to hang out here anymore. We're gonna use this one to get out of here. Was that bad? 3! Oh, that was good. That was good. Let's pass. Let's pass here. I'm gonna keep this. Pass.
Attention. Intruder movement detected.
Please don't move toward me.
Intruder movement detected. Event codename damage.
Okay. Of course it followed
Larva
me, right?
evolved into adult.
End of transmission. Soon we're going to be 6 rounds left. We need to get to... Let's take a look here. We have 1, 2, 3, and then we need to end in a room with... Yeah. With CSS. I mean, we should probably do this, right? 5, yeah, so Blood Rage did not allow it to die. So we gotta go. We're out of here. Search is gone. Arm wound. This is how my games go, guys. This is how it always goes for me. Not interested. Good. Hey. 2. I think that's where I want it to go. What's this? Backup power supply. That is where I want it to go. What cards do I have? Contamination. Alright. So I'm not going to go that way. Change of plans. Now we're in a fire. Oh, you're kidding me.
Attention. Intruder movement detected.
And it's over. Pretty fun. Pretty fun. But this is exactly how every single of my games goes. I end up getting pretty close. End up getting pretty close to finishing my objective. And if I do finish my objective, I die. I've made it to the isolation room twice. And then, as I said before, I just died. The game ends. I don't know if there's like a die roll, because it says that there's like a % chance of survival in there, and I've never made it, so. Well, that was Nemesis Lockdown. From what I can tell at this point, you know, there's still some bugs to be ironed out, but it is a very fun game. Nemesis by itself is a good game, and learning and using those rules in a different way in Lockdown has been pretty fun and tense. Very tense. If this is a game that looks interesting to you, it certainly looks interesting to me. Coming from the board game Nemesis, I can certainly say that I'm excited to seeing the digital version. Regardless if it's original or Lockdown, they're both pretty similar games, though Lockdown has a couple mechanics that I'm still trying to understand. And you can find the room sheets, which come in the board game as you know, visual aids to what is in each of the rooms. Though, as you could see in the map, it did give a description of what everything did, which was pretty cool. You can also find the Nemesis Lockdown manual in PDF form on the Awaken Realms website. I do have the link to that in the description below as well. But if this does look interesting to you, it is being released today in early access. I don't know how long it's going to be in early access or when the full release is going to be, but I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes open for that and having fun at its current state for now until full release. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this first look at Nemesis Lockdown. You can let me know by leaving a like or a comment. And as always, thanks for stopping by, and hope to see you next time.